Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, David here, and welcome back to another ATLUS video. It's been a while since I made one of these videos where I just read stuff online and I'm like, man oh man, I want to talk about this. Now, today, we're going to talk about the 30th anniversary of Persona, which, has it started yet? And we'll clarify all of that because I've heard a lot of people speculate on a lot of interesting things. And of course, being the official resident dumbass with actual expectations, I have stuff that I want to talk about. And when I hear my fellow dumbasses talking about P30th with a bunch of stuff in mind, I like it, I smile, and I'm ready to talk about it. So let's get straight into it. If you want to stay up to date on all things when it comes to ATLUS and ATLUS news, you're at the right place. Please consider subscribing. And if you like the content, a thumbs up helps. I do want to say one thing though, the channel's been doing great lately. Thank you for your support. I've been getting a lot of constructive feedback about my video quality and more precisely my webcam being ass. Appreciate the feedback. I am looking for an upgrade. I do not know what I need to get. So if you have any type of recommendations for me for better video quality, please let me know, because just telling me that my video is ass, I know. Okay, I need help. So if you have any feedback for me, just let me know. All right, so P30th next year, what's going on? What happened is ATLUS West dropped a video last week with the Persona series producer or Persona P Studio director Kazuhito Wada, and the man himself said something explicitly that got people excited. So as you can see here on screen right now, what the man said is next year marks the 30th anniversary of Persona. So we'll be ramping up our efforts to make Persona even more exciting. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else, but it got people excited, and it got me excited as well, because he's correct. Next year, 30th anniversary of Persona. When does it start? September. So we're months away. We're almost a year away from the beginning of P30th. That being said, I am not shocked to see ATLUS acknowledging the anniversary early on, because they make a big deal out of round numbers anniversary years. Persona 25th, if you were there with me when that happened, that was one hell of a roller coaster of emotions. We were expecting a lot of stuff. We were hoping for a lot of projects to happen, lots of ports, lots of remasters and everything, but it was long. But at the end of the day, we got 4 game releases out of the 25th anniversary of Persona. It all started with a Persona 4 Arena Ultimax port to all platforms but Xbox, and then we got Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal ported to current-gen platforms with the Xbox Series X and PS5, and we also got it for Switch and PC, which was a really big deal as well. So really interesting stuff came out of the P25th, a bunch of other crap, bunch of collaborations with other companies, bunch of events around the world, cafe collaborations, mobile game collaborations, a bunch of crap came out of P25th, and looking back on it, those were good times, they were. Now P30th, I think, is going to be very different. I think ATLUS learned from the structure of like, oh, we're gonna have 8 mystery announcements throughout the year. I don't think they're gonna go that route, but I do think we're gonna get more reveals and more projects than we generally get because of P30th being such a big number. Now, what are we going to see, and how are they going to structure this whole thing? Now, I want to talk about one thing that I talked about last week first. Japanese players who purchased Persona 3 Reload on the Nintendo Switch 2 got a survey from ATLUS asking them a bunch of questions. And one of the questions that I made a video about was, what are you the most looking forward to? And the choices were Persona 4 Revival, Persona 6, and Persona 1 and 2 remasters and remakes. And the way that they phrased this was curious. What are you most looking forward to? Revival? Awesome. Announced game, you know? Remake of Persona 4. Sounds like a good choice for an answer to that poll. Persona 6? That was exciting to see ATLUS acknowledge explicitly Persona 6. Before, they were shy. They were afraid to say P6. They were saying, oh, the next numbered installment in the next mainline numbered installment in the Persona series. Now they said it. Fuck off. Fuck it. P6. That's what they said. So that was cool to see in and of itself. But Persona 1 and 2 remasters or remakes? People online were like, bro, it's not confirmed. They're not saying anything about those. So are they telling us that they're doing something with it, and that's why it's one of the options? I don't know, but a Persona 1 and 2 project of some sort, whatever form it takes, sounds like an anniversary type of project, you know? So that would be really exciting to see. When would that release? Now, a Persona 1 and Persona 2 duology remake or remasters, I really have no idea where they could place this, but this is some of the speculation that I saw online, and it's something that I could see ATLUS tease during the 30th of Persona next year. I do have an idea of how things are going to go down. Persona 4 Revival, I think, is definitely first in line. We got the release window that was showed to investors in the latest investors meeting, which, by the way, we're getting another one this week. So make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell, because generally speaking, when SEGA and ATLUS host an investors meeting, we get cool information. But in the latest one that we got, one of the dope information that came out of it is a release window for P4 Revival, which gave us the information that the earliest that Persona 4 Revival can release is March of next year. I have a theory. I think we're going to see Persona 4 Revival and the release date next month. I think Persona 4 Revival is going to show up at the biggest gaming show of the year nowadays, which is the Game Awards with Jeff Keighley in early December. I'll be streaming that on the channel. I think it's December 11th, if I'm not mistaken. It's generally like a 3.5 hours or 4-hour stream, and I am always near death near the end of the stream. So if you guys want to stay, if you guys want to watch with me, it's really late where I live. So if you want to watch with me, I would appreciate that. But I think there's a solid chance that Persona 4 Revival gets shown at the Game Awards with a trailer and everything. And I do think if they decide to show it there, we're probably going to get some sort of P30th logo alongside that release to say like, yo, 2026, that's P30th. So very exciting stuff. I think there's a good chance. And if that's the case, I definitely think Revival is going to come out like June of next year or something along those lines. They generally like to have a game in June, and I think this would be the perfect place for it. This year, ATLUS gave us 2 games in June. We got Persona 5 The Phantom X global launch on mobile and PC, and we got Raido Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. And that was really, really dope. The year before, what was it? Was the 2024. We got Reload in February. We got Vengeance, I think, in June, if I'm not mistaken, or something along those lines. Plus, we had Unicorn Overlord in March. That was a crazy year. So they like to do stuff in June, and I think Revival is a great June game right before the summer. I think that would make a lot of sense. That's when they revealed it last year, in June, during the Xbox Game Showcase. So I'd look forward to the Game Awards if I were you. If you want to watch with me, I'm going to live stream that. That's going to be dope. I think this is the first project that's going to have a P30th branding on it, is Persona 4 Revival, a remake of one of the best and most beloved Persona games in the franchise. I don't want to speculate specifics when it comes to P1 and 2, but I'm certainly going to do it for Persona 6. Booyah. Persona 6 is the elephant in the room. I think we're going to see Persona 6 next year for sure. I think there's, again, I'm the official dumbass with actual expectations. I think there's a chance we even see it at the Game Awards this year, but no date, nothing specific, but some sort of teaser I think isn't too crazy, but I definitely expect it next year. I think worst case scenario, and worst being the latest that they show P6 to us, I think is going to be at the beginning of the 30th anniversary, the official beginning, which would be September. I think the latest that we see a trailer for Persona 6 is September 2026. Quote me on that. I'm pretty sure about what I'm saying. I think we're going to see that good old green bucket, show up. Once again, it's September of next year, and I'm freaking stoked for it because I think there's a lot of potential for Persona 6, and I'm insanely curious about it. I'm even curious to see if they're going to talk about it this week with the investors meeting. Like, yo, motherfuckers, P30th? Stay tuned. Look at me, man. All I need is clown makeup. I am ready. I am ready to see what's going to happen because P30th, you guys, is going to be crazy, and I'm very excited for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. You guys made me laugh over the weekend reading your tweets and stuff about, oh, what we're most looking forward to, P1 and 2. That means it's confirmed. That means something's in development. I was proud of you guys. Well, let's keep our expectations in check. We're going to have great content coming on the channel in the next few weeks. I've been working on a special video on the channel for a special game that I have not talked about on the channel that much, and I'm looking forward to giving you guys an insight with this game and me and why it's so important to me. So please stay tuned for that. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a good day. Bye.